Hi, welcome back to Homestead Witchery. I'm Kim and I'm going to show you how to do an intention spell today for the solstice, because today's the winter solstice, which is the shortest day and longest night of the year, and traditionally we celebrate the returning of the sun and the light. I like to set intentions at this time. First, I'm going to go through some of the ingredients for it. Recently I've seen a little meme going around with using a pine cone to use in your Yule fire. I thought that was cool. We have a fire pit, so I'm going to try this. And I'm looking at my ingredients so I can explain what I'm going to do. I am going to petition my ancestors for prosperity and protection in the new year. First, I will need a pine cone, and this one came from it's from one of the trees on our property here, so this is going to get a little bit messy. So I have some foil over here that I'm going to use to keep from getting stuff all over the place. I'm going to use my mortar and pestle. First, I'm going to add mugwort because it's the biggest jar and I can identify it easily. And mugwort is, because I work with Hecate, that's just sort of my salute to her in hopes that she'll give me a little hand. Engelmann spruce resin, and I'm using this because my ancestors are from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, the majority of them. I have others, but that's who I'm working with right now. Clove for a little bit of oomph, power with the protection, and it smells nice. And I'm going to burn this, so it might as well be pleasant. Red clover, because our family farm has clover growing in the fields, and it reminds me of being a kid. And that's my more recent ancestors. They're still alive. Honeysuckle for the same reason. Back in Virginia growing up, I remember going to pick honeysuckle and it smelled awesome, and we would go on hikes and we'd do the thing where you pick the honeysuckle and you suck the sweet out. Bay laurel because it's powerful and I want protection. Cinnamon for strength and fire and speed. Not a super lot, but enough to get it done. Mugwort flowers from my property, just for more mugwort, and because it's from my property, where I am now. Myrrh as part of an offering. I have regular myrrh and sweet myrrh. Do I know the difference? Nope. And you will see as you watch that if I don't know something, I'm not afraid to tell you that. Let's mash this up a little bit. I'm not afraid to admit when I don't know stuff. Who can know everything? Thyme. Oh. I forget why. I'll look it up and put it in the thing later. I don't have sage right now. I have some growing, but I don't have any dried. So I'm going to use the dried thyme or sage flowers that I have. Dragon's blood for strength and protection, and because it's pretty and it smells great. Some of these are resins, like the dragon's blood, the myrrh, and I think I actually said one of the other ones, the pine is resin. This is a cheat, I'm going to tell you in just a second. It's rosemary. Some lavender for love, and because good night, I need some calmness in my life. After last year was crazy, I moved and bought a house. I moved 2 states away and bought a house 2 states away. Rose petals. My grandmother had a very pretty flower garden. These are actually from my rose bush back in Colorado that I miss a lot. A little extra cinnamon just because it smells good and I like it. Some tea, because like I said, most of my ancestors are from the UK area. Let's go with all of that. And tobacco. This is actually from the property here, because I have some wild western tobacco that grows on the property. Is that everything? Oh, it's not. Rosemary. Rosemary is kind of like a fill-in. You can use it for whatever you need. And what I like to do is just say this rosemary is to take the place of anything I forgot or anything that the universe thinks I need. Is it a cop-out? A little bit, but I'm kind of just covering my butt. Where'd I put that bay leaf? On the bay leaf. This is a pen. On the bay leaf, I'm going to write what I want. I want protection and I want prosperity. I also want love and happiness in my new home, so I threw that on there. I don't generally say these things out loud when I'm doing this. If you'll notice, I also didn't cast a circle, and I didn't call the corners. I don't do those things. This is just how I do it. You can look up how everybody does magic. Use Google. Ask what you want to know, and I'll tell you how I do it. Use Google. I'm going to do this clockwise. There's actually a little bit of eggshell in here too, because I want a shell of protection over my property, and also because I forgot to take it out. It's fine. When I saw it in there, I realized that that's something I wanted, so I'm moving this clockwise because I want to bring in these things that I'm asking for. I'm not going to completely grind this down because I just don't feel like it, because I'm burning it anyway. If I was doing protection powder, or I was doing, I don't know, an incense, I would probably do it a little bit more than I'm going to. Okay, that's good. We're going to set this a little bit aside. Grab this. Next, I'm going to write my petition, which is what I would like. I'm also going to write it on some paper. So I'm writing it in a vague sense, but I'm also going to write specifics. I want a garden, and I want my garden to be prosperous, so I'm going to write a prosperous garden. Next, I'm gonna fold these up and shove them into the pine cone. You don't have to use a pine cone. If you're from the Southwest, maybe you want to use a cholla pup, or actually a cholla pup probably wouldn't work that well because it is really wet. We tried burning some cholla and it didn't work. But creosote would work well because it will dry nicely. Mesquite pods, write this on mesquite pods, and don't use a pine cone, use mesquite pods. I think every place else has pine, just not the desert. If you are in, I don't know, Florida, doesn't Florida have pine? sure they do. Anyway, use what's around you. Use what your land and what is near you. Use what's offered near you. Where's my fire? Next, I am going to use a yellow candle because that's what I have. You can look up the correspondence. If you have other candles, use other candles, but this is what I have. So that's what I'm using. Actually, I'm going to use this white candle first because I know it'll do what I want. You're going to use the candle to hold the paper onto the pine cone. This will also help the pine cone burn once you go out to the Yule fire, or the solstice fire, whatever you're going to call it. Don't burn yet. Okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, that's all together. I am going to do a little yellow. Just because I like the idea. Another little tip. You can get birthday candles at the dollar store. I mean, you can use chime candles. They're nice candles and they're meant for this. But you can get, ouch! You can get birthday candles at the dollar store. They come in a variety of colors. And they're only $1. You don't have to go broke doing this stuff. Okay, next, where'd my oil go? I'm going to use a little High John oil. 1, because it's for success. And 2, because this High John oil, it's by Art of the Root. Smells amazing. It smells piney and lovely, and my husband actually uses it as kind of a cologne. Just going to drizzle a little bit on there. Actually quite a bit, because then I'm going to dress it. I'm going to dress this like I would dress a candle. And I forgot something to wipe my hands on. That's amazing. Whatever. Okay. Next we're going to take the herbs that I just ground up, and I'm going to dress this pine cone like you would dress a candle. While I'm doing, I'm distracted right now because I'm making a video, but while you're doing this, think about what you want. Think about why you're doing this spell. Put that intent into the work. Put it into this. Because when I light this, when I put this into the fire, my goal is for it to burn, and the smoke will carry this up to the universe, up to my ancestors, up to the gods, whoever. You gotta clap 3 times. It's taking it up to the entities that I'm asking for help. Generally, for me, it's the universe. But somebody told me that I needed to be working with my ancestors recently. So that's what I'm gonna try. Okay, here it is, and now I'm going to go get the fire ready in the fire pit. It is kind of getting dark, but I think I still have enough light that I can make a video. So I'm going to go set the fire up, and then we're going to do the rest of the work. Okay, I started a little fire. Let's get this thing going. that's it. As the smoke goes, it brings my message to whoever the message needs to go to. I gathered some brittle bush, also known as incienso, because local indigenous people, and I think the Spanish, used it as incense as kind of a nod to the beings of this land. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Have a good Yule, and I hope you had a good solstice. You can follow me on Instagram at Homestead Witchery and Clever Kim's Curios, and you can visit my shop at cleverkimscurios.com. I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway the first week of January with some other creators on Instagram, so check that out. I'll probably do a little video later on to remind you of that. See you next week. Thanks for watching.